I am delighted to have the opportunity to kick off today's program and to talk to you a little bit about ICGFM and a little bit of background on the organization and to chronicle the benefits of ICGFM membership. Doug already made my pitch a lot easier, but I'd like to, before we get started, we took a polling question the other day and I wanted to get a sense of, who was in the audience and who we were talking to. And I wanted to see how many folks attending were new participants at an ICGFM event. And what we learned was that over half of you are attending an ICGFM event for the very first time. So we're totally delighted about that there are so many new faces here, and this reinforced that we thought it would be a good idea to talk a little bit about the organization and the benefits of membership. So just to give you a little bit of background, ICGFM was founded in 1978, and it is a nonprofit organization. And essentially, ICGFM is an international community of organizations and individuals that are passionate about improving public financial management and promoting and extolling PFM best practices. And what we do is we bring leaders and practitioners in the public financial management domain together from all over the world to have multidisciplinary discussions around different kinds of public financial management solutions and emerging trends in the domain area. And along those lines, we facilitate the sharing of best practices and thought leadership around the full spectrum of public financial management. In terms of our membership, our members work at all levels of government, not only national, but local, municipal, state, provincial. And they also include members in the private sector and international consultants. And really people specializing, including accountants, financial managers, advisory specialists, auditors, IT specialists, people in treasury, procurement and expenditure managers, and even legal reformers and regulators. And the purpose and objectives of ICGFM, just to elaborate a little bit more, are to exchange information and ideas, including providing a clearinghouse, an international clearinghouse of information relevant to governmental financial management. And also another major function is we do a tremendous amount of research, training, and publications around financial management in the public sector. And we also serve as liaisons to bring individuals together and to connect people with similar passions and to promote mutual objectives across our membership. Further, we try and help promote and maintain the highest professional standards amongst public financial managers throughout the world. We collaborate in development of programs delivering PFM technical assistance, and that's something that I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. And then we also conduct global surveys and thought leadership materials critical to trending government issues in public financial management. And we go to great lengths to disseminate that information to our members and to the international community. A little bit about some of the programs and activities that ICGFM offers. As you all know, we host conferences twice a year, and this is our winter conference, but we also host a conference every spring in Miami, which is a 5-day training program, and I'll give you a little more detail about that in a minute. We also publish biannually the International Journal on Governmental Financial Management. We conduct annual global financial management leaders surveys. This is where we take census of leading public financial managers in ministries of finance and ministries of planning around the world to try and get a sense of what's happening in PFM and what are some of the emerging trends and challenges. We also locally here in Washington, D.C. host D.C. forums on important topics related to public financial management best practices. And that usually takes place the first Wednesday of every month here. And if you're interested in D.C., I encourage you to attend those events. They're great forums for exchanging ideas and getting to network. And then we also recently, under the leadership of Jesse Hughes, have developed an Ipsos compilation and certification program for developing countries. And this is something we're really excited about. It's a great product, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that as well. So in terms of our technical areas of focus, you might have guessed, since, based on who our members are, that we focus a lot on accounting, auditing, budgeting, data administration, and processing. We also look at and we heard the other day, with discussions around financial sustainability, things like retirement administration, and also treasury management. So we really try and cover a range of topics that are the most preeminent and highly trending topics in public financial management to keep our membership abreast of things that are happening around the world in the domain. Going back a little to the Ipsos compilation program, we have an Ipsos compilation guide that's very comprehensive and gives countries, developing countries, a roadmap and a path forward from cash-based reporting to accrual-based Ipsos. And in concert with the compilation guide, we also offer our members certificates of conformance for various stages at the 6 levels of Ipsos implementation. And if you'd like to learn more about that and think that this might be useful to you in your charge, I encourage you to go to the link here. This presentation will be posted on our website, but there's also plenty of information about the compilation guide on our website. So I wanted to ask you one polling question, Jerry, if I may, to get a sense of how many of you, or at what level of membership most of you in the audience are. So if you could please take this opportunity to grab your voting buttons and indicate which of the following applies to you. So are you an individual member of ICGFM, an organizational member, a sustaining member, or you're not sure? I think we can close the polling. So this was a bit of a trick question, actually. So we see that 8% of the respondents said that they are individual members. Organizational members are 31% of the audience, and sustaining members are 8%, and then 54% said you're not sure. Well, by virtue of signing up for this conference, if you are not already an organizational or sustaining member, you're automatically an individual member of ICGFM. So everybody in this room is a member of ICGFM. So congratulations. If you weren't aware, you are all members of ICGFM. So I thought I would detail some of the benefits of the different categories of membership within the organization. So sustaining members are the highest level of organizational members, and they consist of organizations with a major stake in improving governmental financial management through both financial and technical assistance. And our sustaining members all receive a seat on the board of directors of ICGFM and have a great opportunity to influence the direction of the organization, to influence program agendas, and to really promote the organization through direct and active participation. And we think the ability to sit on the board, the dues for sustaining membership are $1,000 annually, and we think that the ability to have a board position in an influential organization like ICGFM, that's really a tremendous value. And I would encourage all of you, as you return home and return to your organizations, to promote prospective membership for your organizations with ICGFM, because there are a tremendous amount of benefits. The next level of membership is organizational, And these are also members that include public and private organizations, and they're also committed to improving public financial management and the professional community of public financial managers around the world. And organizational membership dues are $250 a year. And 6 organizations that have organizational membership status also are able to attain a seat on the board of directors. And I should mention that for both sustaining and organizational memberships, you get reduced meeting and conference fees. For sustaining, you get 20 reduced prices for different events, and for organizational members, you get 5 reduced conference or forum fees as a result of your organizational membership. And we also provide complimentary hard copies of ICGFM publications to sustaining and organizational members as well. And since you're all at least an individual member, individual members are persons interested in or dedicated to financial management activities who wish to be members in their own right. And dues for individual membership are $100, but again, if you attend a conference, then that is gratis. I would also mention that 6 individual members currently sit on the board of directors, and individual members can also assume roles on the executive committee, roles like vice president of membership. And I am an individual member of ICGFM, like many of you. I thought I would just kind of share with you a couple of testimonials from current members of the organization in closing, just to kind of give some different perspectives on the value that membership and participation with ICGFM bring. So Anne Owur of Kenya said, as a new board member of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board of Kenya, one of our first priorities was to come up with a financial reporting framework. I found the International Public Sector Accounting Standards Roadmap to Implement Compilation Guide for Developing Countries prepared by ICGFM Ad Hoc Committee on International Accounting Standards to be very helpful, and we were able to use it as a basis to draw up a roadmap from cash basis to full accrual. So that's one of our members chronicling the benefit of the compilation guide for IPSIS. And one other perspective was from Dr. Alex Lima of Brazil, who said, in Brazil, public financial management reform started in 1999 when Congress approved a law to govern expenditure management. And since then, public financial management is an essential part of the executive, legislative, and judiciary branches of government. Simply using the tools of public financial management that I learned at the ICGFM conferences since 1999, I was able to generate major savings. So these are just a couple of examples of members of our organization and their perspectives on the benefits. And again, in closing, as all of you return home, whether that's locally here in DC or abroad, and you go back to your organizations, I would again strongly encourage you to consider organizational and sustaining membership with our organization. I think we had one last polling question as a parting shot, and I wanted to get your perspectives on why someone would become a member of ICGFM. So the first choice would be to increase my professional knowledge. The second is to publicize the achievements of my own organization, to tap into the network of PFM professionals, or to learn more about how to make reform work. So if you would take the liberty of chiming in with your voting buttons. All right, so the biggest benefit of everybody in the room that was captured was to tap into the network of PFM professionals. And I certainly agree with that. From my perspective, I share that perspective. We also see a lot of benefit in terms of learning more about how to make reforms work, as well as increasing professional knowledge. So Thank you again for the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the organization today and for coming to Washington, D.C. today to take part, or this week to take part in this conference. And we look forward to seeing you all again. And I would be remiss if I didn't remind you all that if we could switch back real quick, that our upcoming spring conference is going to be in June this year, actually, in Miami. And it's from June 1st through the 5th, and this is a training conference, a 5-day training conference at the Biscayne Bay Marriott in Miami, Florida. And we're going to be continuing the theme of PFM, a Foundation for Good Governance, and we would be delighted to see you all in Miami as well. So thank you all again.